Davante Adams, franchise tagged. He reportedly has told the team that he won't play under the franchise tag and that he and the Packers reportedly are far apart on a long-term deal. Well, hey, look.
He's made a
this
lot of money.
This goes back to something that happened 4 years ago.
Yeah.
This goes back to something that happened 4 years ago. When he signed his contract after the season was over and before the Packers applied the franchise tag. Because if they had applied it then, his threat to not play under the franchise tag would be a lot more credible now. He could do the Le'Veon Bell, sit out the whole year, and the Packers would still be looking at giving him quarterback money in 2023. So he would force his way to the open market by not playing this year if he was really serious about that. Not playing under the franchise tag this year means nothing. He'd have to sit out the year, be tagged again, sit out the year, and then he'd become an unrestricted free agent because they wouldn't tag him a third time. So, again, force the team to use the tag on you. Always force the team to use the tag on you. Who'd be in a better spot to draw that line in the sand this time around, Chris. I mean, it's $20 million plus that he's saying no to if he doesn't play under the franchise tag. Maybe he's trying to agitate for a trade. I don't know. But with Rodgers sticking around, we just assumed Adams would be there, whether it was a long-term deal or the franchise tag.
Well, yes, I do. But, again, this is one where, hey, the franchise tag is $20 million. Wow, that's expensive. We know that. But this is a franchise tag where the guy is a little bit better than the franchise tag. It's his number is still going to be above that when you sign him to a long-term deal. How can it not be? I mean, he's going to look at the other receiver contracts and just go, I mean, Kenny Galladay's making $21.5 million per year on an average salary. All right, so he's going to look at that and go, well, damn, I'm getting more than that. All right, I mean, some of those guys, I mean, maybe I'm a little wrong. Maybe it wasn't Kenny Galladay. No, I'm wrong. It's Julio
was at
Jones.
17 or 18.
Right, yeah. Julio Jones at $22 million. Keenan Allen at 20, a little over 20. He's going to look at those names and certainly want to be north of that and of course, deserves that. But, man, Green Bay, like, even with the new Rodgers contract and all that, they're still in, a tough salary cap situation here. And what I was going to say before is, like, Davante Adams has already made a lot of money. So him with the threat of sitting out, I do think is a little bit more viable. He's not desperate. He's got money in the bank here and, of course, deserves the respect from an organization where he's been one of the best players in the league at his position and certainly, one of the best players on that team.
DeAndre Hopkins is the highest paid receiver at a new money average of $27.25 million. More on that in a second. $22 million is Julio Jones.
Yeah.
That seems destined to end at some point
Right.
sooner rather than later. Davante Adams technically is third at $20.145 million. That's the value of his one-year franchise tender. The thing to keep in mind, and the DeAndre Hopkins contract is a great example. When a guy's got an existing deal and you give him an extension, there's a way to crunch the numbers that can make the numbers look a lot better than they really are. And that's why agents love the new money analysis. Anytime you do the new money analysis on an extension, the deal looks better than it does. And the reality is there is no such thing as an extension. If a guy's got 2 years left under contract and signs a 3-year extension, it's not, well, the current contract remains in place for 2 years and then the extension begins. They rip up the final 2 years. They do a brand new 5-year contract with a signing bonus, with guaranteed salaries at the outset and everything. It's a brand new contract that replaces the old one. But by focusing on the value of the new contract minus the value of the old contract, it makes it look better. So it's really not a $27.25 million deal that DeAndre Hopkins signed. And I say all that because it complicates things.
Yes, it does.
When you've got a guy who has no contract at all.
Right.
Because for Davante Adams, the new money and the old money are going to be the same. If he wants $25 million a year, it's a real $25 million a year. It's not some puffed up number, courtesy of a low salary this year and next year that gets superseded by a new contract, and the new money average is so much higher. The new money and the old money are going to be the same, and it's going to be real money for the Green Bay Packers if he's looking at something like 23, 24, 25 million a year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yes, it seems that way. And you're right. I mean, the Hopkins thing, it certainly puts a wrench in the situation. No question. And, of course, he's going to look at that and go, well, I've outperformed DeAndre Hopkins the last 2 or 3 years. There's no question. So, yes, he's going to want something up in that range, definitely. And let alone, like we've talked about before, he's going to look at Aaron Rodgers and go, man, Aaron Rodgers is the man. I know that. He's the man. But he's twice as good as me? You're going to pay him, more than twice the amount of money? How much is the Rodgers contract and everything there going to affect all of this? I mean, yeah, they got issues there in Green Bay that they got to figure out. And, they don't want to let this fester too long and make this ugly to where now we finally got the Rodgers situation under control and that dysfunction, and now we're dealing with Davante Adams going into training camp. Geez, I hope Green Bay can avoid that for their sake.
And remember, 2 points. First of all, Aaron Rodgers still has not signed his new contract, and the Packers desperately need him to do it by Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern when his $46.66 million cap charge hits the books. And secondly, now that Tom Brady's coming back, he can retire and not be overshadowed by Tom Brady at the Hall of Fame retirement ceremony.
Right?
I mean, right? He gets to overshadow Ben Roethlisberger.
Big
guy
Ben
beat in Super Bowl 45.
Oh, Big Ben was so happy yesterday. He was cheering. He popped open a beer probably and was like, man, this is awesome. I'm back to the lead guy in the Hall of Fame class.
Hey, but in all seriousness, Tom Brady, 6 days after retiring, made it clear that something was going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, it's only been 6 days since Aaron Rodgers said he's coming back to the Packers. Until he signs that new contract, folks, we've seen, crazier stuff has happened this week than Aaron Rodgers saying, I've changed my mind. And I'm not saying that I've heard anything say, but until he signs that contract, and now you throw this Davante Adams wrinkle onto it, and Tom Brady's coming back, and again, I don't know where Rodgers would even go at this point, because his best option in Denver is now gone, although the Steelers are still.
Steelers and Colts would be the only ones you'd look at that are legit options.
Do we have the Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers, googly eyes thing? It may be coming, but yeah, I just, if we've learned nothing else since Tom Brady retired all those 42 days ago, anything can change. Many things will change. This is the NFL, and it frustrates people. It fascinates people. It's the reality. Nothing is final until it's final. Nothing is done until it's done. And for Aaron Rodgers and his new contract with the Packers, it is not in place until it's in place. Maybe that's why. Maybe he just wasn't being a petty goofball last Tuesday when he tweeted, nothing has been signed. Maybe there's a message in there. Maybe there is. I don't know. But we're 48 hours away. Well, not quite 48, a little more. They know who we mean. We're 2 days away from when they have to get cap relief for Aaron Rodgers, either by trading him or by signing him to a new contract that knocks down his $46.66 million cap number. I still think he's going to do it. My point is, haven't we seen enough since last Monday, starting with Calvin Ridley being suspended for a year? Haven't we seen enough to know that crazy stuff happens? So let's just be ready for crazy at any given moment.
Yeah, listen, I know you'd love for that to happen, and it'd be crazy. That one is, it's nice in theory, but I don't think that one's going to happen.
I think he's staying. All I'm saying is just be advised.
But Green Bay, they got some things to, fight through here. They certainly, got some guys on their roster and some players that are still in flux because of their salary cap situation. And let's see where it goes, really. I mean, I'm interested to see how much of this team they can keep together here. I am. Again, it's still, we know, one of the best teams in the NFC, but a team we look at to go, I think they need another player on both sides of the ball that's a real weapon, like a different guy, somebody that can really make plays and do that, like the 49ers have, like the Rams have, those type of football players. And Green Bay, in my opinion, has lacked that, and that's why they've kind of stumbled when it comes time for prime time to get to the Super Bowl. And now I have a hard time thinking they're going to be able to add that with their current situation. So that's where it's going to be kind of interesting and intriguing to evaluate this whole free agency through Green Bay's eyes.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.